Let's go. It's time. Welcome, waifu gang. Any new people watching this, welcome as well. Here is my Dragonmaid deck profile. Just a few disclaimers. First, it's generally for going second. I like playing going second this format just because, you know, there's a lot of board wiping cards. For example, Dark Hole, Raigeki, Harpy's Feather Duster, Lightning Storm, all that good stuff. So, this is a going second build. I just really want to drill that into your guys' minds before you watch this video, before you're like, oh, why doesn't it work going first? Basically, you want to go second with this because regardless, if you win the dice roll, you're going to call second. If you lose the dice roll, they're going to still make you go second, so it just works better. The whole sideboard is engineered to make Dragonmaids go first, essentially. But also another disclaimer is I haven't been able to go to locals for the past couple weeks. Literally right after Dry Tones came out, my local shut down because of, you know, everything going on. So the sideboard's going to be a little bit messed up, but I will give you guys substitutions. And last but not least, this deck is a little pricey. I will give you guys substitutions when I can for this deck. Anyways, let's get started. Chamber, Dragonmaid, you need to play 3 of these. This is probably one of the best cards in the deck. It enables a lot of your combos. It searches for your hospitality. It searches for your tidying if you need it. It searches for your changeover if you need it as well. There's no real substitute for this card. I know right now this card is going for $20 to $30, but you really need this card to play the deck. It's just a really good card. It's also a dark target for when you go to Borlo Furious as well. So that's why I like it a lot. 3 Parlor Dragonmaids. This is the 1-card combo card. Basically, you send the Tidy into the graveyard and you do your whole shenanigans and summon Dragoon out. Yes, I am playing the Dragoon package, but I will give you guys a substitute for that as well. 3 Kitchen Dragonmaids. I personally don't like Kitchen as much as the others, but it does let you add one, then discard one. However, you are breaking even when you're using this card. And essentially, actually, if you really think about it, it is a -1 because you have to add one, then discard one, but you still have this on the field as well. So that's something to keep in mind. We're playing 1 Nurse Dragonmaid. You don't really need to play more than one of this card. You just play this at 1 and you're all set. I've never actually had a situation where, oh, I wish I needed a second nurse. This just revives your other Dragonmaids that are level 4 or lower, but it's more essential towards later in the game than early in the game. I'll put this over here. 1 Lower Par and 1 Earnest. These are the only 2 big Dragonmaids I'm playing. A lot of pure builds play 3 Earnest, but I feel like it's a little bit too bricky because it can only special summon level 4 lowers. If you can special summon any Dragonmaid from your hand, that would be really good because you could even summon the big ones. But drawing to multiple of these has been a brick, and you don't really need it to enable your combos. You just kind of normal summon your stuff and then extend with Monster Reborn, World Legacy, Guard Dragon, Hospitality. So it's not really needed as much. The only downside, or the only real upside I could see with playing more Earnest, is you can special summon cards on your opponent's turn. You can pitch Earnest during your opponent's main phase, and then you can special summon your Chamber and defense, and then do your combos then. But however, I still haven't had a situation where I needed more than 1 Earnest. And then Lower Par, in my opinion, is the best one because you can just pitch it and then target a card on the field, or target a monster on the field rather, and that card can't activate its effects that turn, which is really neat. 1 Apprentice Illusion. I am playing the Souls package and I'll explain why, so you have to play the 1 Apprentice. Next, I'm playing 1 Tempest. I started liking this card a lot. First off, it's a fodder for changeover, so this plus any other Dragonmaid makes Dragonmaid show. And also, when you discard it and you happen to have another wind monster in your hand, let's say like you have this in a Parlor in your hand, or let's say even this in a Lower Par, you can pitch both of these cards to add any dragon from your deck to your hand. So this can save you in a lot of situations, and honestly, it has saved me in a lot of situations. And with Gold Sarcophagus, when this card is banished, then you can add a wind dragon from your deck to your hand. So you either pick the Parlor or you can either pick the Lower Par as well, which is really, really neat. Next, I'm playing 3 Magician Souls. So why am I playing this card? So very, very simple. Once you're finished using War Legacy Guard Dragon, you can draw a card off of it. Dragonmaid Tidying has more application in the graveyard, so you can extend, so you can draw off of that. And also, when you get the Boot Sector launch and you finish using that, you can draw one off of that as well. And this pretty much just extends into your Verte plays. But if you don't want to make the Verte plays, if you don't want to make the Dragoon plays, then you can literally just play the Black Dragon package, which is the Black Metal Dragon and Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. It's not a bad idea as well. Next, we have Red Eyes Black Dragon and Dark Magician. But obviously, we're playing the Red Eyes Fusion package, so you literally have to play one of those. What I really like about this deck in particular is, first, since you're playing Souls, you can revive your Dark Magician in like severe cases where you need to go for game, and it's a 2500 beater. And also, Red Eyes Black Dragon with changeover. Let's say like, oh, it's dead in your hand because for whatever reason it's dead in your hand. You can send this and a Dragonmaid monster with changeover to summon Dragonmaid Show as well. And it's also a dark, so you can make Borreload Furies as well. So a lot of things to keep in mind, and I feel like this package just has really good synergy with the deck, especially with Dragoon itself. You can discard your Tidying to extend your combos as well. So on to the spells. Playing one Red Eyes Fusion, obviously. One Boot Sector launch. Why am I playing Boot Sector launch without rockets? Very simple. You summon Striker Dragon, and you have souls. You can pitch your Boot Sector launch to draw a card. You can opt to not play this if you really don't want to, but it's more often than not save me than becoming a detriment in my cases. One Raigeki for the front row clear. One Harpy's Feather Duster for the back row clear. Lightning Storm for the multi-clear. You can play 3 Dark Holes instead of Lightning Storm, but this deck has a lot of trouble dealing against back row, so Lightning Storm, in my opinion, is just better for that situation. But obviously, if you want to play budget or a lot cheaper, then you just play the Dark Holes instead. 3 War Legacy Guard Dragon. This is going to be your main extender for pretty much all your Dragonmaids. You have to play this card. It's mandatory if you want to go into the Guard Dragon combos, or else you literally cannot do one turn Guard Dragon combos. You have to probably do like a pseudo turn and then wait another turn to do a Guard Dragon combo. But the fact that this moves any of your dragons from any of your zones to a different spot lets you actually go off on your combos. 2 Dragonmaid Hospitality. I feel like you'd never need more than 2, especially since it's a hard once per turn. Obviously, if it's not a hard once per turn, then I'd play that 3. But however, 2 things to remind or to consider is, 1, you're not always going to have a Dragonmaid in your opening hand. It just kind of happens that way. You know, you can brick. It happens. And playing a 3rd Hospitality, especially when you're not always going to open a Dragonmaid, is going to be more bricky in the long run. 1 changeover. Card's good. you only play the 1. You never need more than 1. If they like Macabre this or something like that, then you're in deep trouble. You're in big trouble. But nonetheless, you can still play around it with the Dragonmaids. They have some ammo and some attack powers, so they can get over some stuff. But changeover, you only need 1. You never need more than 1 since it recycles. Gold Sarcophagus, obviously with the Tempest. Monster Reborn, just an extender. And now on to the traps. 3 Dragonmaid Tidying. This is arguably the best trap in the deck, maybe even the best card in the deck. It pretty much lets you do a lot of things. You can even out Megaclops with this. You can out pretty much almost everything with this besides Dragoon. But it's a good card, and I like it a lot. And then last but not least, 3 Evenly Match. This card is absolutely insane, especially for going a second build. You pretty much wipe your opponent out of all their resources. Even if you draw into multiples, is fine, because you just play like the first Evenly Match in battle phase, and then it doesn't have a once per turn clause, so you can just play the second one at the same time, because it's still the end of battle phase, which is really neat. If you guys enjoyed the video so far, make sure to drop a like, comment, subscribe. I would really appreciate it. On to the extra deck. We're playing 2 Hieratic Seal. This card is the Siphon card. This card tributes itself for cost. This card gets out, or kind of jukes around Dark Ruler no more, because you still special summon the card from the deck. Even though you don't get the bounce, you still special summon your monsters from the deck, so you have a little bit of protection there. I like this card a lot. This card basically lets you shift into any of your Dragonmaids or pretty much any dragon in your deck, so you set up for the upcoming turns as well. And also as a bounce, non-targeting. Verte, obviously for Dragoon. We're playing that 1 Crossroads. You're going to see in the combo video. In the combos, I'll show you guys how this card works in conjunction with this deck. 1 Salmon Great Amirage, 1 Striker Dragon, LP, Pisty, obviously the Guard Dragon package, and then the big boys, we're playing 1 Borreload and 1 Borrel Sword package. Obviously, you guys haven't noticed, if I'm playing Borreload, this extra deck is pretty flexible, so feel free to switch out cards as you please, but this gets around non-targeting stuff, and this pretty much is a game ender, like 9 times out of 10. 1 Borreload Furious Dragon, just to fuse your dogs together to summon Borreload Furious. It's pretty much a scrap dragon. However, what's really neat is if you target your big dragon maids, like for example the Ernest or the Lopar, because you control a face-up dragon fusion, or I think it's any fusion monster, this won't get destroyed, but your opponent's card will. So it's really, really neat. Obviously 1 Red Eye Star Dragoon, and then 2 House Dragon Maids. You're gonna summon 2 more often than not, and then 1 show. I never actually had the opportunity to summon more than 1 show, so you could put in a second show if you really want to, but it just hasn't come up. Now on to the sideboard. 1 Amorphous Sloth. For if you're going first, then you can lock out your opponent out of the extra deck. 3 Drone Lockbird for pretty much almost every matchup in this format. 3 Artifact Lancia. You can take this out if you're terrified of Dryton. You can take this out for the Cycle Reader, the Allied Justice Cycle Reader. It's completely up to you if you want to do that. The card's pretty good, nonetheless. 2 Forbidden Chalice for certain matchups. 2 Torrential Tribute because it's a blowout card. 1 Red Reboot simply because I don't have a 3rd Torrential, but again, back row is the nemesis of this deck. And last but not least, for going first, you want the 3 Solemn Judgments. Now I'm going to show you a quick combo, and then we can wrap up the video from there. Now here is the bread and butter 1 card combo. All you have to do is normal summon Prowler Dragonmaid, activate her effect. You're going to pitch Dragonmaid Tidying from your deck to the graveyard, and then you're going to link off and go into Striker Dragon up here. You use Striker Dragon's effect to add a Boot Sector launch. Then you're going to banish the Tidying to special summon your Prowler Dragonmaid back. You're going to link these 2 off. Go into Verte. You're going to pay cost, pay 2,000 life points, and then send a Red Eyes Fusion to the graveyard. Your opponent has no response. And then you would send these 2 as well. And then you would make Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. And what's really neat about this setup is you did a 1 card combo and you still have 1 card in your hand and you have 2 cards in the field now. With Dragoon, you can pitch the Boot Sector launch to get a free, pretty much Omni Negate, and now Dragoon is a big threat to the opponent. Obviously, your opponent can Kaiju it, obviously your opponent can do a lot of things to it, but it's still pretty decent 1 card combo because if you really think about it, let's say you're going second and you do this 1 card combo, you'll still have literally, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other cards in your hand. So obviously I didn't shuffle the deck, but I just want to give you guys a quick example of this. If you want to see the full combo video, feel free to click on the link either description below or the 1 iCard right there if you want to see the rest of the combos in full detail, just to see, you know, how this deck actually works. Anyways, that is all I have for the video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. I really do like playing this deck going second in this format. Obviously people will feel free to disagree with that. However, you know, it works for me. Everybody has different play styles, so completely up to you how you want to build it. I am AkemiTCG. If you liked it, make sure to drop a like, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys next time. Alright, bye guys.
The world ends now.